Hey, Percy, how are you?
I'm very well, Charlie.
Will Potter survive?
Is it
I
Harry
don't know.
Potter you're talking about?
No, I'm
Because he
talking
always
about
survives.
Graham Potter. I don't know why you broke into a burst of laughter, but I think that the job at Chelsea is a difficult one.
I swear.
And
This one you're on good.
and the job that he needs to do is quite enormous.
Of course,
What
of
do you make
course.
of Chelsea under Potter, first full game in the EPL?
The funny thing is that if I will wrap my head, he's the only manager that after the sack of a previous Chelsea manager has not had it easy. Since I started watching Chelsea, every manager that is sacked, even if I can just a little, Mourinho 207, when that Ghanaian coach came, Abraham Grant, he almost won the championship for them. Chris Hiddink has been doing that. You have Di Matteo winning the Champions League. You've had, what do you call it, a lot of coaches do. But when he got to his time, I just don't know what is happening. And
Maybe it's down to the dynamics and the change of power at
yes,
Chelsea.
yes. Because what I believe is that during the time of Abramovich, when a new coach comes, the setting and the whole environment is very good for the players, and the players try to do their best to make everything work. But this is a coach that, or should I say, an owner that is changing everything. This is unlike Chelsea. Whenever a new manager comes in, there is a buzz around the whole thing, and this is not the Chelsea I know.
Well, what does he need to do right?
The mistake he made was changing the system entirely, because unfortunately, Chelsea, since Conte came, that system had actually made them thrive, because Conte came with a three-back, won the league, won the FA Cup. You see, the moment Sarri came and changed to four-back, they struggled. But the moment you had Tuchel come in, even Lampard struggled. But when Tuchel came and brought it back to the three-back, everything worked out. And now this is a Porter who has relatively no success. If you take all the other Chelsea managers, save what's the name, Di Matteo. Di Matteo had actually been an understudy.
Yes.
But all the other coaches who came in,
Accomplished.
they are all accomplished coaches. This is a coach that the best he has had is with Brighton, and he comes in and changes the whole buzz about the team. And I would also say he came in at the wrong time, a time that Chelsea had a very bad and awful transfer market. They couldn't get the players they want. And funny enough, the players that they had, some are injured today. Kukorea is injured. Aubameyang just started playing. I still see some level of mutiny in it, because the Pulisic who was routing for the sacking of the coach still does not have play time. So wait a minute.
Maybe it's down to input in the training grounds, on the training ground. Maybe.
There is something that you always say. You always say that players are like the coaches they play for. But this is, of course, because you can have the best of players, but I'm sure the players look at the coach and like, seriously, are we playing for Graham Potter?
You're sure? They look at him and say, what's this guy doing here?
What is he doing
No,
there?
but on a more serious note, I think that a lot of credit needs to be given to Chelsea today. If you look at the way they had to come back, they showed a lot of character.
Yeah.
They showed a lot of mentality. They showed a lot of mental strength. There's one thing that I've always admired about Chelsea, and their playing body.
Yeah.
It is that they die literally for the badge, and they showed a lot of those traits today. I think that it's something that the manager can build upon going forward. What happens to Koulibaly?
Now, watching them, it's funny. Like I was saying, one of the saddest things is to be bought by a manager, only for the manager to be sacked. And a new manager comes in and is like, I really didn't have use for you if I was here, and I would have to just do with the players I want. And I think that is what I'm saying. Like I said, it's very unfortunate that just after getting the players the coach actually wants to work with, the coach goes away. So the new manager comes. What does he do with them? And funny enough, he switched from three back. Three back would have given a room for three center backs. But now there is a much younger, much rejuvenated Fofana. And you have Thiago Silva, who has been in the team for 3 years. You just came. So he now has to find a way of playing just two. So, and you still have Aspilicueta, who could not go. So what happens? So he has to now make do with 2 out of 4. So I think it's rather unfortunate. You see, the situation at Chelsea, watching them today.
Does it tell you Koulibaly is not good enough like everyone wants us to
Oh,
believe?
no, you can't say that. Save Thiago Silva.
Do you think he's past his best?
No, I wouldn't say that. He just came in at the wrong time. It's just like I always say.
Because I honestly think Koulibaly is past his best. That's
Of
why
course, his best were like 2-3 years
exactly.
ago. Of course,
I
yeah.
honestly think that Koulibaly won't survive in the EPL. That's what I think.
But we said same about Thiago Silva, and he thrived.
Thiago Silva, the thing about him is his sense of positioning.
Okay, he's
Speaking
a
of
Brazilian
managers
and-
who
yeah.
will survive in the EPL and who will survive in the EPL, will Liverpool play in the top 4? I think that we need to start giving priority to this conversation. Liverpool don't look like a team that wants to play in the top 4, and at this material time, they do not have the qualities to be a team that plays in the top 4.
We've talked about this topic some time back about club's 70-year cares, and I think we should
The demons are back.
You see,
The demons are back.
You see, one of the reasons why the last time you asked me a question and I said that I would never say Klopp is an A coach is that an A coach is a coach who always tries to change himself and change the way he does things based on the way things are being done. An example is Guardiola. He was a person who was strictly about playing and trying to hold on to the ball. He brings in a Haaland and look at their style of play has changed. Now all balls to Haaland, all balls to Haaland. Last season that he did not have a center forward, he's like, let's hold the ball. We have a lot of attacking midfielders, we have a lot of second strikers, and they did the thing. But this is a club who still wants to use the conventional system of trying to press and press and press. But now the players you press with are old. You can't have Henderson still pressing. He's old.
Fabinho.
And people think Robertson is young. Robertson is old. He's now hitting 30s, and everybody has seen how Trent plays. And you don't have a Wijnaldum who was the one doing all of those things. Wijnaldum tackles and also does the midfield game. Thiago Alcantara does not tackle, so it means the whole midfield it's only Fabinho. So you are still playing the same thing. You have sold the player who was able to dummy in with your false number 9 to make things work, and you've rather brought in another center forward who actually is not even fitting into your system. You bought a Darwin Núñez, you can't use him. So I think I wouldn't be surprised that they play out because nobody ever thought United would go out of the top 4 for a very long time. Nobody even thought Chelsea, who has won the league before or Champions League, would go off. And until Liverpool do something different, and Klopp is a German, they hardly change the way they think. So playing out of the top 4 is not something that is inevitable. It's not their birthright.
I agree.
It's not their birthright. It's just like if Liverpool won the league 18 times and they won like 4 times at a time and they went out for 30 years, nothing shows that they can go out of because no one is slowing down. Nobody. Look at Arsenal today. No one is slowing down. So
Care to spare a thought on Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, and then we'll end with Darwin Núñez. Nobody wants to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Nobody wants to talk about Van Dijk. Are they done? Trent Alexander-Arnold, is he done? Has he been found out? Van Dijk, is it the end of the road for Van Dijk?
I think it's about time that we look at the position of Trent Alexander-Arnold. You see, there are players that when they started and they realized the way they play might not really fit into the system that they are supposed to. Like it can't
Like
fit.
Bale?
Like Bale, he started at a left back, and when what do you call it?
Inter also had a Brazilian fullback.
Who?
Inter.
Yes.
Inter had a Brazilian fullback.
I've forgotten his
Yes.
name. Now, when Bale started,
Malcolm.
when Bale started as a left back, you had Redknapp. Harry Redknapp realized that the guy likes going forward. Then he pushed him to the left wing, and he got to a time he was playing as a false number 9. Lewandowski started as a centre back. He was a centre back. In fact, his first international game, he played as a centre back. De Gea started as a striker. So you see, when the player starts, and you, the coach, realize that there is something about the player that you will have to change about him, that is the time, that is what makes you a coach.
Well, I think I agree with you, but I think that the narrative Klopp has assigned to Trent
He can't defend.
will be the reason why he cannot convert Trent to that position
And
that we all
what he's
expect.
doing to him will make him only play under a system, under a heat, because it's not as if he is going to stay in Liverpool forever. I'm talking about Klopp. What if the new manager comes and doesn't play the pressing game? What happens to him? You see the English national team, he can't play.
Yes.
Because the English do not accept to it's like he's the only manager who plays to that system. Because whatever you do in offensive, Rhys James can do.
Yes.
Whatever you do, Kieran Trippier can do, Kyle Walker can do. But that is why you have a primary objective, defender. And now the system that you play, I told you, at first you had players who could run and cater for you when you leave. But now, who does that? So you leave the whole place. And the funny thing is that he's not even met the big teams yet. They have not met City yet. You have not met all the United. You met United.
It was all over the place.
All over the place.
Yes.
You had a Malacia that the moment you run, he will also come behind you. And you also had a Sancho. Would you go or would you stay? So for him, I think it's a matter of time. The coach, this is the time that he has to be very innovative. Assign something else to him. Change the system, because if you decide to become incorrigible, you decide not to listen to everything everyone is saying, it will abandon him just like it did in Dortmund. And with Van Dijk's issue, you see, it's not something that we've all said for the first time. It's like, okay, who does Van Dijk play with? It's a matter of time that you also think about who plays with the other player, because he's the player that does not go in for tackles. We know him for passes, but we don't know him for one-on-one. And it's like he's being exposed. He's being exposed.
Terribly.
Very, very terribly exposed. He's a fine player. Nobody is taking away his intelligence, the way he organizes a back line and everything. And like I always say, what is like now we are looking at the extra thing the player can do. But if I tell you I'm leaving the house, clean utensils for me, and I come and you've not cleaned utensils and you've swept the compound, I don't have to applaud you for it.
That's not your job description.
That is not your job description. He is to defend. And if it has to do with defending, he is not doing it. And I think he not being around or he not being in his element is affecting the whole back line.
I agree.
It's affecting. So what happens to Joao Matip? We know Joao Matip, of course, he goes in for the tackles and the rest, but Van Dijk is the one supposed to be in his element. It's like the whole defense is in shambles. That's not Liverpool.
Firmino back. Nunes out. Did they really need Nunes?
I don't even know when they were going in for Nunes. I thought the whole system was going to change, because the system was like, we play a false number 9, we play inverted wingers who actually making for the attacking. But now you brought in an arrowhead who doesn't add anything to the dummies and the rest. So I think we'll go back to Firmino playing his hockey assist as a number 9, and Diaz does not do what Mane does. It's a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of issues.
As always, guys, we expect you to comment, like, and bring us reviews. We are shooting live from the studios of Art Focus in Anaje, Takrady, Ghana. And we expect you to go to our YouTube page, Sports 101, subscribe to the page, like, comment, and then drop all of the reviews there. My name is Kofi Asiedu.
My name is Percy Wani.